I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie's called The Privilege. It's an hour and 47 minutes long. Spoiler alert, let's just get it. See, we got Finn just chilling in the house playing video games and whatnot. And the parents are taking Sophia out to a dinner or something, while his other sister Anna is supposed to be watching after her brother Finn. Then all of a sudden you hear noises coming from outside. Then noises coming from upstairs. He goes to check on his sister Anna. Next thing you know, her mouth is all cut open. She got a knife. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Then she keeps talking about something's coming. We gotta get out here now. They end up getting in the car Anna's driving, and she's scared to death of something. But what the fuck is that moving all slow and ominous? What is that? No, just in case you can't see it, what the heck is that moving all slow? You see it, right? Well, anyway, somehow that thing catches up to her, possesses her, and they got stopped all the way up at a bridge. So Anna's got the bright idea of trying to jump down the dam to get away from it. Yeah, why the fuck would any sane person do this? Because clearly, this bitch had lost her fucking mind. After a while, she somehow convinced Vin to go over there. Then she's saying she's sorry all of a sudden. Then right out the blue, she slips down and she tells him to let go. I'm like, are you serious? Then Finn kicks her like, man, get the fuck off my foot. She fell all the way down, done deal, dead as shit. Yeah, man, this is wild. Ambulances and all that come. Finn looking stone-faced. Dad makes sure Finn's alright, but wait a minute, he found a knife on him. What the heck is this? But he just thought that Finn was cut. He's asking Finn a whole bunch of questions, but Finn ain't saying shit. They finally found the body, mom's there crying. Good grief, that is horrifying. Next day we see Finn's all grown up, and this doctor's been running tests on him, and she makes him take these type of pills called tricyclone or something like that. I guess they're like his stress reliever pills or something, probably for depression and multiple other things. Here comes mom to check on him, make sure everything's good. Then we find out his sister Sophia is going to the same doctor, and she takes the same type of pills and everything. Next thing you know, they're at school, and she's got a boyfriend named Ramin. And then we have this girl named Samira. Love interest time. You know, Finn too shy and all that shit. And then we have Finn's best friend, Lena. She been trying to get them two hooked up, but you know, Finn playing games. Samira's waiting on him to make the first move. Then you got this guy named Leander. He's always setting up like parties and stuff. He try to take your boo. Finn, you better not have none of that. But she don't care about this nigga. She wants some Finn. And then he lets them know about the party. Then we did class and science teachers talk about science. It's supposed to be some type of fungus that's infecting an ant. Pretty sure somehow this is a metaphor for the whole movie. Up at the office, mom is still there, and she finds these crazy ass drawings in the dresser. I thought Sophia drew them at first, but it turns out Finn did. As you can see, there's a picture of his dead sister Anna. And now Finn and Lena are ready for the party. Ramin's in the back trying to give Sophia the business. Here comes Lander over here cock blocking. You full of that cap sauce tonight. But then he leaves him, and then it's back to business. Then Lena comes out of nowhere and makes this crazy ass toast and gets the party started. Yeah, it's like some type of rave party, so, you know, have fun. Well, Finn, are you gonna make the first move on Samira? What you doing? What you waiting on? She waiting on you, cheesing it in your face. Lena's like, what you waiting on? Go get her. Then Leander gives him some type of drink. And the way his mind state is, he's probably the last person that needs a drink. Next thing you know, he starts having hallucinations. He's thinking back to the knife that Anna had in her hand. Everybody's faces look bloody to him. Next thing you know, he wakes up back at the house trying to get himself together. And he just remembered he's got to visit his grandpa today. So he goes to the hospital, and we're not even sure if he's just dying of old age, he's got to get surgery, or who knows, honestly. He was just happy to be around his grandson. Then he starts walking down the hallway. They try to do a jump scare with this old lady. I'm just like, really? I'm like, alright. Then all of a sudden, you see the parents talk about Sophia's sex life. Her sex life, as Dad's trying to get the cheeks, but then Mom had to say something to ruin the moment. Meanwhile, Finn's back in his room FaceTiming Lena. He was just trying to get himself to sleep. Next thing you know, he wakes up and goes downstairs. And what the heck is Mom, Dad, and Sophia doing? Seeing a still image just look like they're standing there, right? But they got this ominous music playing in the background. They walking all slow on some Damien Omen shit. So Finn's looking like, okay, what's going on here? And apparently for some reason they're about to perform some type of ritual with the old lady Finn saw in the hospital. So he ends up sneaking around back, and I have no idea what they're planning on doing. Next thing you know, we see Grandma doing stuff to Sophia. Finn picked up an axe and he hears something in the background. Sophie turns around and sees Finn. Next thing we know, Finn got tackled by something, but he wakes up in a chair. So the parents are like, hey man, what's going on? You good? So Finn starts telling them what he saw. And they're like, oh, okay, we don't know what the fuck you talking about. They're like, Sophia's in bed and what old lady? Like, what are you talking about? Wakes up Sophia is like, she's like, what the heck is going on around here? Then Finn ends up just going back to bed. Next day he's looking for Sophia, can't find her. Then all of a sudden he starts having these visions of her getting slaughtered. He opens the door, but she's just standing there naked just trying to find some clothes. And at this point we think he's just tripping out. And so does his mom at this point. Next day, Finn and Lena get to school. Then Sophie spazzes out on Ramina for whatever reason. And we're like, what the fuck happened between them two? Then when they get to gym class, they talk. They're trying to figure out what's going on with Sophia. Next thing we know, she's climbing a rope, but she's bleeding out of her nose. Then Sophie ends up falling like, oh shit. She comes back home and insists that she's not in pain. But you don't just have a nosebleed and drop off the rope like that. Ramin comes by the house to check on Sophia, but she don't want to be bothered, and she tells Finn that too. Later on that night, he's over there guarding Sophia with a bat, because he thinks some entity is around, like the one that was supposed to be chasing after his sister Anna. But she wakes up, and she's just starting to think he's crazy at this point. Then when he goes in his room, Ramen texts him, and he's like, look, I need you to come down to the diner now, it's an emergency. Something ain't right, dog. So while he's at the diner chilling, this lady ends up walking past him. Why she looking at him like she trying to get some young meat? He got that face like, nah, I'm good on that one. But he heard a noise after she walked into the car wash part, so he's like, what the fuck is going on? Then he goes through the curtain and see they're laid out. But as he got closer, What the heck is that? Her eyes turn crazy white. Next thing you know, his face is bleeding and she disappeared. But then she popped up right behind her, start choking the life out of him. Why is her eyes pearly white like this? What's going on? She being possessed or something? Next thing you know, Finn finally gets to the diner. But Maureen is done deal dead out here on these streets, sitting on top of a car like what the heck just happened? Next thing you know, Finn and his dad got talked to this detective. And the detective's like, look man, just get your son home. He's like, look man, I'm gonna be blunt. It was only 3 people here at the time of this murder. Ramin, that old lady, and you just coming in. And I don't believe an old lady has the capability of doing this, what she did to him. So he's like, look here Finn, just go home. So apparently his dad smoothed it all over with him and everything's all good. It's like they're friends or something. He's sitting there looking like, really? Okay. The point is, he got you out of trouble. Sophie got the terrible news and she been feeling sick. So as Finn's about to take one of his pills, he actually notices it and it looks weird. So he cuts one open. He finds a fucking worm in it. What is that? He meets up with Lena later on in school. Apparently that worm is in all these pills. They talk to the science teacher and she's like, it's not a worm, it's actually a fungus that usually grows off of dead bodies. So now we're thinking to ourselves, who the hell will put a fungus inside of a pill? A pill sold by pharmaceutical companies that help out people. Man, this is crazy. Later on, Samira finally approaches Finn and they want to do homework together, study buddies and all that. But you know what she really trying to do? She trying to get them cheeks clapped. Then Leander comes over talking shit for no reason whatsoever. Then later on, Finn and Lena end up going to this spot named Eliska. And this guy starts spouting off all types of weeds and whatnot. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure they need some medicinal purposes. But they actually came to talk to Eliska about this fungus. And apparently she knows exactly what it is. She sits him down at the table and she knows exactly what he's seeing. She holds his hand and then he starts having flashbacks about his sister Anna. So at this point I thought she was a fortune teller and a psychic too. Apparently she got hurt by the thing that hurt his sister. Now I'm thinking to myself, is it the thing that hurt her or was it the pill she was taking? You know what I mean? Later on, Finn goes back to see his grandpa. It looks like he's pretty much lying on his deathbed. So he gets some one-on-one time with him. And they talked about when grandfather was a pastor and he was seeing demons and whatnot. It was a long speech, honestly. But as he's ready to get surgery, he keeps talking about some demons are eating him up right now. I don't know if that's a metaphor or a sign of things to come. But as Finn's walking around the hallway, all of a sudden it just turns black. Is it happening, or is he just seeing stuff? He has his visions about demons taking over his grandfather. He starts banging on the window, but in real life, he wasn't even over there. He was in the bathroom. The nurse let him know the surgery went well. He's going to be out for a couple hours, and everything's all good gravy. So when Finn gets back home, Finn totally forgot that Samira was going to be at his house. So his parents about to dip out and do their thing. Sophia's upstairs asleep, and now he gets alone time with Samira. Look at that cheesing. You already know what she wants. Then all of a sudden, Lena pops up too, and apparently Eliska and crew are coming too. They're going to perform some type of seance so they can talk to Anna. They're trying to figure out what this demon is that's chasing them. But I thought it was clear it was the drug that was inside the pill that was making them hallucinate. Well, time to begin the seance. Then all of a sudden they felt and saw it. What the heck is that? Next thing we know, Eliska's got cuts on her face. She's talking about, we gotta finish the seance. But her man's like, fuck that shit. We getting the fuck out of here. So they all saw what it is. They don't think Finn's crazy anymore. And they go find a spot to chill at. Parents come back to check on Sophie. And she's actually doing worse. It's like, what's going on? Meanwhile, Finn, Lena, and Samira end up going back to that rave party spot. Which if you look at it, it's pretty much an abandoned empty pool. Alone time with his boo while Lena over there sleep, and they get that kissing. And up to this point of the movie, we assumed that Lena was a lesbian, but apparently she goes both ways. Finn clapping all the cheeks. If there was any appropriate time to say it, Finn is definitely out here giving up business. Next thing we know, after a while, Samira's getting scared. She's trying to wake Finn up. But Finn's not even over there. He just went to the bathroom. She's like, if you're there, then whose fucking hand am I holding? Apparently it was the ghost hand that came out the blue. Her hand got marks on it. And they're like, man, we gotta get the fuck out of here. They end up going back to Eliska's spot in the morning. But this big dude came out and says, man, them niggas left. So they got a plane ticket, got the fuck out of here. So basically it's like, what do they do now? Samira's like, all right, we just gotta keep a low profile. And just apologize. That way the parents don't be on their backs. Then his mom's doing her aerobics talking to dad. Oh no, she was actually talking to Finn, my bad. Telling him the medication's absolutely safe and all that. But we know it's not. Next thing we see, Lander goes into the bathroom. He starts throwing up. But as mom's talking, we see this rash down there. Mom, it's the same type of rash. What the heck is going on here? Next thing you know, people's talking. They're looking for Leander. Next thing you know, we see him on top of the school building. He sticks a knife in his throat like he's trying to get something out of it. It's like, what the heck? He keeps talking about take it out. Like, take what out? Then he just falls off the roof. The EMTs come to get him, because apparently he was still alive even after the fall. Then Lena's like, fuck this, I'm about to search up for what's good with this drug. She finds out what the company is, dresses like she's a representative, and they talk about the drug. But guess who sponsors the drug? Vin's freaking father. In fact, he sponsored the entire thing. He's like the CEO of this shit. So I'm thinking to myself, he has to know what goes into these pills, right? Is he oblivious and they're slipping by worms and putting them in pills? Fungus and whatnot? He gotta know something, right? So Lena's about to do some more digging, and she ends up running into the familiar lady. That lady that killed Ramin, what the heck? So our couple end up doing some digging of their own, and they find out Leander's adopted. They find out Finn's adopted. His mom and dad are not really his biological parents. Samira finds out her real parents are dead after they sold her to new parents. I'm like, wow. But the more shocking question is, why would a pill company have these type of records? Lena finally gets into the basement and holy shit, what is all this? All these people are people that are dead that got the funguses growing out of them. So I think it's safe to say Finn's father knows exactly what's going on here. But my question is, what are they trying to accomplish with all this? And we find Eliska too. She ain't make no plane trip at all. She done deal dead as shit with the rest of the fungi. After when she gets out of there and warns the others. Finn and them go back to check on the grandfather, then all of a sudden he just died right there. Guess he had a heart attack or stroke or something. But after Finn goes over there to grieve, the doctor comes back and tranquilizes him. What the fuck? Next thing you know, Samir's tied up, Finn's tied up in his chair, and his doctor's the one helping him out. They drag him down in the basement to have this cult awakening. His mom, his dad, Sophia, the cop from earlier, and the guy that was at Eliska's shop. They all in on it. Basically, they want him to surrender the body to him. His body to them. But don't they have enough hosts? Apparently they just didn't survive it. And maybe he has the power to or something? I don't know, I got kind of baffled after a while. Then as they lean against the wall and perform the ritual, the grandpa comes back to life. And he's about to spew the demon all in him. But then Lena comes out of nowhere to save the day. Lena poured gasoline on the members and struck one of those firecrackers. And she lit them niggas on fire. Now wait a minute. So because they were doing the ritual, were they just stuck to the wall? Like they couldn't move, they couldn't do nothing? And they just burnt up. It's funny because the fire left a clear path for Lena and Flynn to get out. Like it just stopped burning in the middle of the walkway. I was like, really? Finn reaches in, gets the demon out of him, they get the fuck out. Samira got the car started, she ready to dip. What is Finn looking at? Sophie's still alive? How's she surviving? Everybody else got burnt up? But it don't even matter because they end up running their ass over. And as they get out of the demon ends up popping up at the dashboard, they almost run off the cliff. Everybody gets out before the car falls to its death. Samira and Flynn lovey-dovey, they kiss in. Lena's like, alright, we ain't got time for that, we gotta get the fuck out of here. But as they're walking, what the heck does Samira stop for? Oh no, she got the bug in her, what the heck is this? So is he still gonna take Samira with him? It's done deal. Honestly, I got baffled by the premise. Either stick with the thing that they're hallucinating about the pills, or stick with the fact that you got a ghost on your hands. I mean, like one or the other. Because the fungus didn't do anything to keep whatever it was supposed to be living. And the host would just pop up, but it couldn't control people unless it was forced to. You know what? I got confused with what I was talking about. The Privilege on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Look these out, the easy best. Big. Could have got a slogan.